It's enough to make you want to play spin the bottle. This tattooed hunk sporting a bottle on his back.
I had a little hair here, and they waxed that.
After all, a hairy bottle would be an absolute mistake when you're doing an ad in a campaign known for absolute perfection. This was the very first Absolut ad dreamed up by art director Jeff Hayes.
Showed it to my copywriter with a headline that said, it's absolutely perfect. And he said, well, let's make that shorter, make it absolute perfection.
Thus was born one of the most magnetic ad campaigns ever. 16 years and 500 ads later, it still hasn't peaked, but it has become a book. The Absolut book begins with a quote from the TV series Homicide.
There are no absolutes in life, only in vodka.
Author Richard Lewis says the City series is probably the absolute favorite, from windblown Chicago to fog-shrouded San Francisco to absolute L.A.
I mean, I thought this was a real pool somewhere.
Well, you're supposed to.
Steve Bronstein is the photographer who has shot about 100 of the ads, paying attention to details as small as the teeny cordless phone.
We get this all the time. Can you send me the plans to the swimming pool? I want to build one myself.
No, the Brooklyn Bridge doesn't really have archways shaped like vodka bottles. And as for New York Central Park...
And obviously you changed the shape of the park up here.
No, did we do that?
What they did is doctor up a NASA photograph. It's easy to get confused even if you haven't had too much to drink. Absolut Landmark really is a 30-acre work of crop art in Kansas. But Absolut Miami was shot using elaborate miniature models.
Somebody called to say, what street can I find that building? I know I've seen it before. It looks real, and I think people want to believe it's real.
Sorry to disappoint you.
I have a great guy who can make fake food.
The ad agency swears Absolut Venice is real, that they went to St. Mark's Square and sprinkled pigeon feed.
I think it was about 340,000 kernels of corn. We put them all on the ground, and we covered it with a tarp. At the first light, we yanked the tarp off, and the pigeons...
That makes shooting a tattooed nude guy seem easy. The tattoos, by the way, are temporary, done by a company called Temp 2. First, they transferred the outlines from this tissue paper onto the model. Then they paint them in.
This must feel good.
It's not bad at all. I've had about 2 massages my whole life. This isn't as rough as I like it, but...
Could you press a little harder on that brush?
Absolut ads have featured everyone from famous artists to unknown but up-and-coming fashion designers. There have been one-of-a-kind ads, like this flap version of a snow dome. And Absolut Warmth featured a pair of DKNY gloves, a tight fit, which brings us to the OJ trial. That's when this ad appeared. And talk about evidence, you practically need a microscope to find the bottle. There's even a chapter on Absolut rejects. All of this had our heads absolutely swimming. As for the Absolut First Class stamp ad, well, we tried them. Sticking Absolut stamps on 5 letters, then mailing them. 2 of the 5 actually arrived. Proof that the post office isn't foolproof, even when your stamps say 80 proof. The tattoo ad could turn out to be controversial. For the first time, Absolut may show what they describe as the top of the buttock. Hard not to notice when you're applying powder to set the tattoos.
Jeanne, you have a really great touch there.
Thank you. The ad agency calls this one Absolut Restraint, but we're calling it Absolut Buns. Jeanne Moos, CNN, New York.